Hi, welcome to .avop. In this video, we want to talk about computer hardware and learn about the most important part of a computer, its CPU. All computers, whether they are calculators or laptop or digital camera, can be shown as a machine that has an input and an output. For example, let's say our machine calculates 2 plus 2. In that case, 2 plus 2 would be input and 4 would be output. But what happens in the middle that allows this to happen? The middle part can be divided into two sections, processing and storage or memory. Memory is where the values are stored or received, and processing is the part that performs operations on those values, or in other words, processes them. So computers have four parts: input, output, processing, and storage. Now let's see some examples for these parts that we are familiar with. Input is the part that allows us to give data or instructions to the computer. For instance, mouse, keyboard, microphone, or flash drive. Output devices are devices that allows the computer to show us data, such as monitors, printers, speakers, and so on. Now, the computer itself is made of a lot of components like CPU, GPU, motherboard, hard drive, and so on. And in this video, we want to talk about CPU, which is considered the heart of the computer, and it is one of the most important parts of a computer, if not the most important. CPU means Central Processing Unit, and as the name suggests, it does the processing. The way the CPU receives and sends out information is in zeros and ones, or binary. For instance, if we want to calculate 2 plus 2, we send it 0010, which means 2, another 0010, which is the other 2, and 1010, that means addition. Then the CPU will calculate the result and show us 0100, which means 4. But it is important to note that as programmers, we don't actually talk to the computer using zeros and ones, but rather use coding languages that are relatively easier for us to understand. For instance, here we are telling the CPU to print the phrase "Hello World" using the printf command. Then what happens is that this code will be given to a program called compiler that turns these commands into zeros and ones so the computer can understand, and the CPU will receive zeros and ones after all. Now that we talked about the functionality of CPUs, let's see what are they made of actually. In previous videos, we talked about transistors, which are the building blocks of digital devices. By combining transistors in certain ways, we can build different kinds of logic gates, that are gates that do some very basic logical operations. Then by combining these logic gates, we can build some circuits that are able to do more complex operations, such as addition, subtraction, and so on. And these circuits, when combined, will create the powerful CPUs that we know today. Essentially, CPUs are made out of millions and millions of transistors. So in this video, we learned about CPU, the brain of computers. Follow us in this series and stay tuned for next videos so that we learn about other components of computers.